Fasnacht is here again in the Wasteland of Fallout 76, and really the only thing people care about are those rare, beautiful, glowing masks. Now, there's a lot of confusion and some lying going around, some misinformation about going around in the Wasteland, so I figured I would clear some things up and set it straight in this video right now for you about glowing masks, how to get them, the drop rates, and everything like that. Alright, so obviously the most important thing to go over would probably be the drop rates, so I wanted to go over that first. Now, the glowing masks are considered to be rare masks, and as per the most reliable source of data in the Wasteland of Fallout 76, Nukaknight, link can be found in the description. Big shout out to Nukaknight, as always, for keeping the Fallout 76 community up to date and alive. The drop rates for each mask is a measly 0.2%. No, not 2% or a 5% like we've been seeing around on some of the pages out there. It is 2% or 0.2% to get a glowing mask. 0.2%. 0.2%. Now, that is extremely, extremely low. Now, on top of the drop rates, there used to be a previous stipulation that Fasnacht had, where a certain number of robots had to survive to be able to get a rare mask, aka a glowing mask. Now that is not the case in 2025. One robot can survive. As long as you complete the event, you'll have a 0.2% drop chance for a glowing mask. Now, any of the glowing masks that they have, the 4 that they added this year, or any of the other ones. And now, finally, there is nothing you can do in-game to increase these drop rates. Your luck skill has no effect. It doesn't matter if you solo the entire event. It doesn't matter if you do it on a private world. It doesn't matter if there's 10 people in the event. It doesn't matter if it's a public world and there's everyone there. It is a flat 0.2% per glowing mask for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're wearing a mask, doesn't matter if you've never done Fasnacht before, every single person has a 0.2% drop chance for the rare glowing masks. Now, like I mentioned, this year they added 4 new masks. Bethesda added 4 of them this year, and then 2 non-glowing masks this year, which you should see sometime during this video. Now, that brings the total loot pool of glowing masks to 25. I don't have the exact number of the total loot pool for the non-glowing mask because, no one really cares. But if you want to see a full video breaking down the new glowing mask, non-glowing mask, and the new rewards, check the description. I made a video on it not too long ago, so go ahead and watch that if you want to get caught up to date on everything that was new about this Fasnacht, along with the new updates and new rewards. So, 0.2% chance for a glowing mask per Nukaknight, who, in my opinion, is the most reliable data miner and just the most reliable source of information in all of Fallout 76. Alright, so now that drop rates are out of the way, let's get into the real meat of the video, the reason why you came here. How do you get the glowing mask? Now, there are really 2 main ways of obtaining these, and just 2 ways in general, I believe. The first way that I want to talk about is trading. Now, be careful, but I will talk about that in a second. You can trade these rare glowing masks, but they are super expensive. Some people even spend actual cash on certain masks, so be prepared to spend some real money or give up basically all of your caps, all of your flux, all of your 4-star legendary mods. Basically, the price is undetermined and can be set by the seller. It just really depends on how badly you want a glowing mask. There is no real uniform price per glowing mask, no matter what that one dude on Reddit says. Now, I also said be careful because I don't really recommend trading with randoms because a lot of people try to scam for these masks this time of year because it's a hot item. So you could easily trick a few newbies that have these masks to give them up with promises of splendid loot and really just screw them over. Now, the second way that I want to talk about, and the main way that you will be obtaining these masks, is simply just by grinding. You have to grind out as many of these events as you can hour after hour. Now, truthfully, because the drop rate is 0.2%, you may not get a glowing mask at all just because of the drop rates are terrible. Like I said, you may not get one at all. It really depends on how many you do. You could do 10 in a row and not really get one. You could do 100 in a row and not really get one. It really just depends on the RNG gods of Bethesda. So there is really one thing that you could do to increase how many of these you could participate in a day, because that's really the main way that you get these masks. You just have to play the game and participate in the event. There's no secret, there's no shortcut, there's no way to increase your chances. You just have to grind out these events. But there is one thing that you could do, like I said, to increase how many Fasnachts you are participating in per day, and that, my dear friends, is going to be the controversial method of AFKing. And since you can't nuke the event zone, this year you could AFK without fear of dying and dropping all of your loot or missing out on potential Fasnacht runs while you're at work. Some people may hate you, but I'm sure you have your reasons for needing a glowing unicorn mask in a Fallout video game that's on its way out. Really, the only way to get a decent chunk of these masks is to AFK. If you have a job or if you have a life. If you are able to sit inside all day and play Fallout 76, obviously 12, 13 hours a day, 14 hours a day, then you'll probably get a glowing mask without having to AFK. But if you have a job and if you really want one of these little glowing masks, you can AFK. It's a controversial opinion. I'm not telling you to, but you're gonna have to put your ass in a corner and walk around in circles, or just tune into your like Xbox Play, Remote Play, or something like that. Same thing with PlayStation. That's what I tend to do. If I'm at work, I just tune into my Remote Play for a couple minutes, get my character set up, and then go on with my day. And I do that every hour just to be able to get some of the glowing masks that I have. Obviously, you can tell I rock the unicorn mask no matter what. But again, I'm not saying that you should go out there and AFK. I'm just saying if you can't participate in 10 of these things a day, so 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day, you're really going to have a hard time getting these glowing masks. And they're not something that people are going to be selling in their vendors. They are going to be like exclusive traded items for a shit ton of caps, a shit ton of flux, a bunch of rare items. So grind as much of these out as you can. Not telling you AFK, but that may be your best shot to get a mask. Well, ladies and gents of the Wasteland, it seems like we made it to the end of another Fallout 76 video. We went over the drop rate. It is 0.2% for a glowing mask, which you won't be able to forget after this video ends because of how many times I said it. I wanted to engrave it into that brain of yours. Are you excited for Fasnacht? I know I am. It's my favorite event of the year. As you can tell, I love rocking the glowing masks, especially the glowing unicorn. I think they are perfect. I cannot wait to get my hands on the glowing jackalope mask. I think it looks amazing. It's probably the best mask that they've added, in my opinion, besides the unicorn or the Scorch Beast Queen. What mask are you going for, though? Let me know in the comments. And as always, don't AFK too much. It will rot your brain. At least that's what they say. But yeah, just like I said, the best way to get glowing mask is just to simply play it. That's really the only way. There's no shortcut. There's no tricks. There's none of that bullshit. You could either trade, which you might get scammed for, so be careful, or you just have to go out there and participate in as many Fasnacht events as you possibly can. If you have a job or you go to school or you're busy during the day, you may want to consider AFKing. There's a bunch of guides on YouTube out there, but obviously, I know that's a little bit of a controversial topic for Fasnacht, but as always, I just want to thank you motherfuckers for watching this motherfucking video, and as always, I will see you in the Wasteland, hopefully with some new glowing masks. Enjoy Fasnacht, everyone. Be safe, and don't AFK too much.